the struggles and the pain that we may endure are incorporated into a divine plan, and all things work together for the good of those who love him. So we can hope. We can push through some terrible things. We can endure through some hard things because we have the hope that death is defeated, that the tomb is empty. I am Lecrae, Lecrae Moore, music artist, influencer, public figure, author, follower of the Lord who uses his gifts to, encourage and communicate truth to my best abilities. Seeking the Lord's face and trying to understand how I can become a better version of myself. Seeking to learn how God can use me to help in any way I possibly can. I think once you recognize that your wounds or your scars are evidences of healing, you begin to trust the process. You begin to trust that God is consistent. I have faced, abandonment. I have faced abuse. I have faced all sorts of traumas, addiction. I have faced so many things. And I wanted God to transactionally just take me out. I wanted him to be transactional, snap his fingers and make it go away. But God is not transactional. He's relational. And so he wants to walk with us through these things, walk with me through these valleys of the shadow of death. And so what's happened for me is that I have grown very dependent on him. And I've learned that even when it gets ugly or when I go through something terrible, he's consistent and he will walk with me through it. And there's healing on the other side. How that healing is going to be accomplished or when, I'm not in control of, but I know he's faithful. So it's led me to trust him. Faith has become the centerpiece that I'm able to function by. Faith has become the lens that I'm seeing things through. God is in control of all these particular things that I'm having to navigate. And so I can trust him. I can trust him in every avenue of my life. He doesn't want to be first. He wants to be preeminent. He wants to be involved in every aspect. It's not like God, then family, then work. It's God and family, God and work, God and. So he wants to be involved in every aspect. And that's where my faith has played a huge role in this process. For me, I'm a programs guy. So in the midst of problems, some people turn to prayer, some people turn to policies, some people turn to publicity and just speaking out and prophecy. I'm a programs guy. So I turn to programs. I want to get involved in some kind of way. I want to start a program or get involved in a program or, fuel a program. And so I called a good friend of mine, Terrence Lester, who's been working with the homeless community for years. And I said, man, what needs to happen? And he told me that there's just some basic essential needs that we overlook in our privilege that the homeless community doesn't have, like washing their hands. And so he had a vision to put sinks all throughout the city of Atlanta, or hand washing stations. And so the Love Sinks In campaign was begun. I contributed to the first batch and then helped support him through the rest of the process. And it's since gone on to do amazing work throughout Atlanta and now throughout the world. I mean, it started with Atlanta and now all the way in Australia, Love Sinks In campaign has reached. And then also Peace Preparatory Academy is a school in English Ave, one of the toughest areas in Atlanta. And me being involved there is fundamental and instrumental, just because they need to see pictures of Black heroes who look like them, who love the Lord and who have overcome some of the same problems that they have wrestled with. And so that's been amazing as well, just to be involved with the school since its inception. And so now it's the first school in the community in over 20 years. So that's great. The way I seek to provide healing through my music and hope in general is just reminding people that there's nothing that we're dealing with that is worse than or bigger than death and eternal death at that. And if Jesus has conquered death, then we're good. I mean, we don't have anything to worry about. We can hope that it's already been defeated, that everything else falls underneath death. It's not as bad as eternal death, and Jesus has already defeated it. So if he's defeated that, there's nothing else he cannot handle. And we have nothing to fear. So even death itself is not a threat to us. So here's a passage from Jesus Calling from June 26th that I want to share with you all. I'm hoping that it encourages you today. Stay calmly conscious of me today, no matter what. Remember that I go before you as well as with you into the day. Nothing takes me by surprise. I will not allow circumstances to overwhelm you so long as you look at me. I will help you cope with whatever the moment presents. Collaborating with me brings blessings that far outweigh all your troubles. Awareness of my presence contains joy that can endure all the eventualities. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Psalm 23, 1-4. God bless.